Okay, so Module 4 lecture notes. There's some important issues I want to discuss with you about Module 4 before we actually jump in feet first. I know that I required you to do the required read-ins already. You should be somewhere in the middle of the last 5. If you haven't started that, you probably need to go ahead and get busy reading that because your brainstorming activity is due next week, and then you're going to have to start your annotated bibliography. So let's talk about heroes and the term hero. I want you to explore all the documents and videos in the module, mainly so that you get an idea of what a hero is, what it should be, how it's related to the hero journey, and what an everyday hero might be, how the term has changed throughout all the years. Now, when we hear the term hero, we think of somebody that has done something extraordinary. But is that really a hero? Well, or do we think of somebody that's gone through a lot of stuff to become a hero, that it was a journey, an adventure for them? You know, a lot of times we're very into saying that military personnel, teachers, policemen, doctors, nurses, first responders, all of them are heroes, but are they really heroes? I don't consider myself a hero, even though during this pandemic, I've probably doubled my workload trying to do online classes and handled everything else for a family. And same with military. And what about doctors and nurses that put in extra hours? Were we just doing our job, or are we really heroes? And regardless of my teaching experience and my military experience, I never once considered myself a hero. I just did my job. And that's where I want you to understand, you know, what do these people think? Why are you so quick to put that term on a person like that? You know, do people react because they're brave or courageous instead of being a hero? When you read the Laporte article about the woman that was termed a hero, was she actually a hero, or was she brave? Did she do something that most people wouldn't do? You know, for instance, are firefighters heroes? You know, they go in and they save people from a burning house. Well, what about that person that's standing on the sidelines? Because, you know, when there's a house fire, everybody gathers around and watches, and they're watching the firefighters at work. But what about that person that runs in there to go rescue a dog or go rescue a child? Are they a hero, and why would they be any different than the firemen? And I want you to start thinking about all these terms and how we're using them. And then look at, you know, again, the important thing, the thing I've been prepping you all semester with the textbook, is what does the media do with this? Because the media has such an impact on how we see different things. So when you think about heroes, you know, is it legit? Again, you can go back to the BS module, and if you sit there and say, oh, that's bullshit, why are you saying that? You know, exactly what is it? And there's just as much fake news out there as there is real news out there. So I really want you to pay attention when you're looking through all of this stuff, because you have to go find articles, and you're going to have to go look at academic work done on the hero term. What exactly is everybody seeing? How are you thinking about this? And so what I want you to think about while you're doing all this work, if you're trying to understand human behavior rather than explain it, predict it, which approach to mass communication research would you take? Researchers argue that people engage in selective exposure and selective retention with regard to media. Again, if it makes you feel good, you're going to remember it. If it makes you angry, you're going to remember it. If it's just there, probably not going to remember it. Do you find this to be the case concerning social media? Really think about the social media process in this. Are people posting items due to an emotional attachment instead of deciding if it holds any facts? How do you read through these posts? And the most important question, how does an everyday hero compare to a hero that's experienced all the stages of the hero's journey? That's where I want you to focus on throughout the whole entire module. Really think about everyday hero versus the hero. So let's move on quickly to the brainstorming activity. So if you saw this brainstorming activity and went, oh my gosh, I can't believe all this work, it really is not all that work. You read way too much into it. The first thing I want you to answer, without opening up Google, without using anything but your brain, is what is a hero? How does society view heroes? How has this definition changed over the years? Use your brain, answer those 3 questions. And open that journal. I'll show you how to open a journal. I'll show you how to post the answer to those. Then start part 1. Then I want you to look at the dictionary. And again, the Google dictionary meeting, copy and paste the definition, then answer, what's your definition versus what is the definition from the dictionary? Have you thought about it before? Simple. You're looking at copy and paste and answers to 2 questions. Then make a list of heroes. You can all do this. I know that you've seen them. What fictional heroes do you know? Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, whatever it is. If you are a Batman fan and you've watched every single Batman movie that's been published, why? What's drawn you to Batman? What is it about him that stands above everybody else? And that's what I want you, those are those identifying qualities I want you to think about. Then for number 3, I want you to think about real life heroes. Hold on a minute, Brittany. And find 2 newspaper articles that deal with real life heroes. Post the entire newspaper name, entire article, website address, explanation of how this individual possesses the hero qualities. And then number 4, read the Beowulf excerpt. What is the difference from the hero of Beowulf and Superman? Most of you know those 2. Provide a rational argument to prove that theory. What's the difference between them? Let me answer this text real quick. Okay, so moving right along to part 2. Part 2 is going to take a little bit more time because obviously you have to watch a movie. Pick one of these movies, and yes, it has to be one of these movies on the list. Tell me which one you picked to watch. Using the stages of the hero journey, how many characters? Yes, Henry. How many characters are experience the journey? And it could be obviously more than one. And for instance, Finding Nemo, there's 3 or 4, I think there's 4 characters, fish, that qualify for the experience the journey. Next, consider how one character in the film has met all the stages and make sure that it meets all the stages. Who is it? Find a picture of the character and post it. So if you pick Nemo, obviously I'm going to have a picture of Nemo there. Write a characterization of the character you picked. This is some of these movies I watched a long time ago. This is trying to, this is a description of the character. So describe them to me so that I know what they are. Kind of think about their traits. Work with that. Why, and then think about why the majority of the heroes on film male. What's it say about the hero's journey? Does it apply to females? Explain the reasons for how you think this. Now, what's the difference between the 2? Obviously, Beowulf is a male. Superman is a male. Okay, and then fill out the worksheet. Find a picture of your character in a scene. Again, you're going to have to Google it. So if I pick Nemo, I might have to find a picture that's in the movie. Not just a picture of Nemo because I've already done that. I need a picture of him with other characters and actually doing something. So, and then here's the worksheet. Again, fill it out. Call to adventure. Nemo has to travel. Tell me about what the adventure is going to be. And go through and make sure that he fits each one of those. And again, I'm using Nemo as an example. Here are the descriptions. What I would honestly do is, wow, this is interesting. Go through all of this and read each description and make sure that the character fits each one of these, and then go up to the worksheet and actually fill it out. All right. Any questions about the brainstorming activity? So I'm going to move along into the actual Blackboard. Yes, and those of you that are having technical difficulties, I am recording this, so you can go back in and watch it. If this recording doesn't work right for any unknown technical reason, then by all means, I did record it yesterday, and you can go in there from yesterday and look at that recording too. So I have a backup. Have the backup for the backup. Okay, so right now you're looking at the calendar. What date are we in? Okay, this is April. On Monday, the brainstorming activity is due, and I'll show you how you can work on that. Don't make it hard. It's really easy, but I want you to start analyzing the term hero and how you think about it. Then on Tuesday, we're going to start the annotated bibliography. So next week will just be a quick check-in to make sure that you're actually doing the annotated bibliography correct. I won't make it mandatory. It will just be for anybody that needs help. And then you're going to start working on the newsletter. So the 14th and 15th, I will have class again to cover the newsletter and what should be in the newsletter and how I want you to set that up. So let's move into Module 4. Okay, so for Module 4, this is where your brainstorming activity is. Here's the actual assignment. You'll click on this. You will click on Create Journal. Type in the name. You type your character's name. You type your name. You can type in the movie name. You can type in hero. You could type in hero worshippers. The title is yours for you. It doesn't matter to me what it is. It could be as creative as you want or as boring as you want. But here you're going to post all of your information. You cannot attach any documents, so you will have to copy and paste every single thing that you want to put in here. That includes the chart. So if you have a problem putting the chart in there, text me and I'll tell you how to get that in there. But you'll probably have to take a screenshot and crop it, and then I'll show you how to add it. But definitely do not post any URLs where I would have to go and open it or any documents. But the good thing about the journal is today you can do the 3 questions in part 1. And then if you go into saved entry as a draft, you can save this. When you watch the movie and you do part 2, you can go in here and add to it. And then when you're finally done, at whatever point between now and next Monday, you can post your entry, and then you're done and finished and it's posted. So you do have these. This is a work in progress. You can do a little bit at a time. You don't have to do this this journal entry all at once to post it. And then as you get it done, I can see it and it'll be finished. Are there any questions? And for those of you having technical difficulties, I'm sorry if you can't see your screen or can't hear me.
Is it So whenever you copy and paste, normally it says keep formatting or change formatting. Is it better to say keep formatting?
No, I just say remove formatting and put it
Okay.
on there.
Okay.
So usually if you keep formatting, it does some wild stuff and it's messed it up, and it takes more effort to go back and try and fix it than it just to say remove formatting. Any other questions about this? If you were overwhelmed, you shouldn't be. At this point, it should be easy. So this module does take everything that you have learned up until now, and I do expect you to use it. So everything from brochure design to, obviously not module 2, but definitely the bullshit module. Yes, copy and paste the entire newspaper article. So yes, this journal entry will be really, really long, but that's okay. One other thing I do want to show you in case you haven't seen it. This student asking students and instructor Q&A. Anything dealing with with your negotiation letters and resumes, I have posted in here some things that I caught, and I'm adding to that as I find more documents and more information to give you on how to revise these letters, and definitely your resumes. Of course, your resumes should be going through career services. How to revise your letters to make them better before you send them out or would have to use them. So they are resume info and negotiation letters. If you have a question about either one of those, again, you could just post it and I will go in and answer it, especially if it's more general. And I think that is it. If you don't have any other concerns, by all means, you don't have to stick around, and I will stick around and ask questions or answer questions if you have them.